Welcome to my channel Hari PS Videos. How are you all? Hope everything is fine. And in your school, maybe your revision started for exams. So today onwards, from this session up to Sankranti holidays, I will revise all the chapters, and after that we will discuss some model papers which are helpful to you for your free final exam and for your public exam also. Once your free final exam starts, then no time for revise all. So that's why a quick revision will take place by discussing some question and answers. Along with the question and answers, we will discuss some concepts which are already discussed. And if you want to see my old videos for understanding better. And now let us take some action plan which is proposed by the government. Let us discuss some question answers. I will show you that question answers. I already posted these two question papers in my channel as a post. These are all the question paper or the question answers are posted. So please, you have to check them and listen the class. If it is possible, write in your notebook or get a Xerox. Maybe in your school these questions are provided. Is booklet of 100 days action plan provided. So follow that. Then you have to write that question answers in a rough notebook or rough paper. For very small question answers, you have to write answers there only. So let us discuss or revise the chapter chemical reactions and equations. Chemical reactions and equations. We know already we discussed. Already you know what is chemical equation, what is chemical reaction, what are products, what are reactants, all. So directly let us start with 8 marks questions are given here. Level 1 rising star 8 marks questions. The first question is explain the following. Explain the following with an example. So here 4 types of chemical reactions are given. Let us explain them with. Let us understand with an example. So the first one is chemical combination. And chemical decomposition. Then the third one, chemical displacement. Then chemical double displacement. And already we know reversible and irreversible reactions also we know. And also we know reduction and oxidation. So we have various types of chemical reactions. In that asked 4, actually given 4. During the revision, along with this 4, we have to So then completely one topic will be complete. Explain the following example. Or the question has explain different types of chemical reactions with example. Explain different kind of or different types of chemical reactions with an example. With an example. The first one is the types of chemical reactions. The first one. What is the first one? Combination reactions. Combination reactions. A chemical combination. Chemical combination. In a chemical combination, we know that two or more elements or the atoms combined together. Two or more substances. Substances here, whether molecules or compounds or atoms or elements, are combined together to form a single substance. Two or more substances. Two or more substances are combined. Two or more substances are combined and give only one substance. And gives only one substance. Such reaction is called as chemical combination. Examples: carbon reacts with oxygen or combined with oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide. Or hydrogen combined with oxygen, it gives water. It gives water. We already know to make the chemical equation more informative, we need to write the states, any gas or liquid or solid, aqueous solution or gas liberator, heat energy liberator. Such all should be, we have to mention H2 plus 2O2. 2 plus 2O2. Similarly, when magnesium, piece of magnesium reacts with oxygen, piece of magnesium reacts with oxygen, it gives magnesium oxide. It gives magnesium oxide. See, observe these three chemical examples, three chemical reactions are the examples. Carbon, oxygen, two or more combined substances are combined, give only one product. Give only one product, that is carbon dioxide. Hydrogen, oxygen combined water. Magnesium plus oxygen combined to give magnesium oxide. So as we know, to make the chemical equation more informative, should write their states also. Carbon, we know, solid. Oxygen, gas. Carbon dioxide, gas. If any chemical reaction with gas is liberated, then we can represent with the upward arrow. Then here hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is a gas, but a liquid water is formed. Here magnesium is solid, oxygen is a gas, so it is also solid. Magnesium oxide. Such kind of chemical reactions are called as chemical combination. Chemical combination reaction. So, in a chemical combination reaction, sometimes maybe heat energy is produced. Okay. So let us take another examples. Let us take another examples for chemical combination. So let us take calcium oxide plus water. Calcium oxide plus water. It produces or it gives calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide. This calcium oxide is called lime or quicklime. Lime or quicklime. And calcium hydroxide is called as slaked lime. Here also two substances are combined and gives only one product. Is an example. This all chemical reactions are example for chemical combination. chemical combination. So like that, if in the examination you ask, then write the definition of chemical reaction and write at least 2 examples with the correct information. Then let us discuss chemical decomposition. Chemical decomposition. So in a chemical decomposition, a single substance, a single compound or a substance, is decomposed into two or more substances. Like examples: calcium carbonate. So it is called limestone. When calcium carbonate is heated, it gives calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. It means calcium carbonate dissociate. Associated into calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So it is limestone. We already discussed simply. We can call lime or quicklime, and the carbon dioxide is different. Here, chemical decomposition are again classified in 3 types. So thermal decomposition, photolytic decomposition, and electrolytic decomposition, or electrolysis. Right? So a single compound or substance decomposed into 2 or more substances. Such kind of reaction is called as chemical decomposition. One compound is divided into 2 or more substances. Then let us take the another example. Iron sulfate and heating. It gives iron oxide Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO2. It dissociates into ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur trioxide. Iron sulfate is a solid green in color. It gives iron oxide, which is brown color. Also solid brown in color, and gives 2 gases, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. These 2 sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide gases are called suffocated gases. So here calcium carbonate dissociate or decompose or divide into 2 substances: calcium oxide, which is called as a lime or quicklime, and gives carbon dioxide. Whereas iron sulfate, which is green in color, is dissociated into iron oxide, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur trioxide. So whenever we observe these 2 chemical reactions, a chemical compound dissociate into 2 or more substances on heating. Such chemical reaction, such type of chemical decomposition is called thermal decomposition. Then there is a chance for asking the examination. Explain a thermal decomposition reaction with an example. Thermal decomposition with an example. So what is thermal decomposition? A decomposition reaction takes place or carried out on heating. On heating, we can call as thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition. So example is calcium carbonate on heating reduce calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Iron sulfate on heating gives iron oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Such this example, these two chemical reactions are example for thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition. Right. Then some of chemical decomposition reaction takes place in the presence of electricity. In the presence of electricity and in the presence of sunlight also. In the presence of sunlight. So, if the chemical reaction takes place, if the chemical decomposition takes place in the presence of sunlight, we can say that photochemical reaction. So, we already discussed that photochemical reaction in the previous videos. So, in the photochemical reaction, let us take photochemical reaction. Photochemical reaction or chemical decomposition by sunlight, by light. Example: silver chloride, AgCl is dissociated into silver and chlorine. In the presence of sunlight as Ag plus Cl2. So biological chemical equation we need to write. Silver chloride. Similarly, silver bromide also. AgBr in the presence of sunlight, it is also dissociated into silver and bromine. So this silver bromide, grayish blue formation of silver metal, the decomposition of bromide is caused by the light. So the decomposition of silver chloride and silver bromide takes place in the presence of sunlight. Such reaction is called as photochemical reaction or chemical decomposition by light. Photochemical reaction or decomposition of substance by light. Then we also know electrolysis or electrolytic decomposition. So a compound or a substance decomposed by passing electricity. Such reactions are called electrolytic decomposition or simply you can say that electrolytic decomposition. Water in the presence of electricity is dissociated into hydrogen and oxygen. So water dissociate into hydrogen and oxygen when by passing electricity. Such reactions is called electrolysis. So a compound dissociates into two or more substances. A single substance dissociates into two or more other substances or the respective atoms, ions or molecules by passing electricity. Is called as electrolysis. And we know sodium chloride aqueous solution dissociate into sodium and chlorine. chlorine by passing electricity. Is also example for electrolysis. Is also example for electrolysis. And we know electrolysis of water. Electrolysis of water in a beaker or in a plastic mug. You have taken sodium water and we arrange two electrodes. We close the two electrodes with we inverted two test tubes to test tubes to know by passing electricity hydrogen and oxygen gases are formed in different values. Hydrogen and oxygen are formed different values. Such is we have the activity. We have the written activity for understanding decomposition of water into decomposition of water by passing electricity. Explain the electrolysis of water. Then explain the electrolysis of water. Also, the example is example for chemical decomposition. So, a single compound and substance decomposes two or more. Happen three ways: by heating, by light, by electricity. So, these are the examples for photolytic decomposition and photochemical decomposition. Thermal decomposition. Thermal means here heat. So substance dissociate and divide by passing by heating. By heating is called as chemical decomposition. So as we write at least one or two examples. Some cases for either 4 marks question or 8 marks question there is a chance for asking. Explain three types of chemical decomposition reaction with example, or as explain the electrolysis of water. Explain the electrolysis of water. In this way, there is a chance for asking. There is a chance for asking questions. Asking questions. So these are chemical combination and chemical decomposition. Then coming to the next one. Chemical displacement. Chemical displacement. In a chemical displacement, one element is replaced by the other element. One element is replaced by the other element. Such reactions are called as chemical decomposition. Chemical decomposition. So next one is chemical decomposition. Chemical decomposition. Chemical displacement. In a chemical displacement, one element, a chemical reaction in which one element is replaced or displaced, replaced by another element is called chemical displacement. So here, highly reactive element can displace or replace the low reactive element of that. So example, copper sulfate plus iron. After the reaction, we observe FeSO4 plus copper. So copper sulfate aqueous solution. Iron is solid, right? Is solution. Also an aqueous solution and liquid is formed, iron is formed as a solid. So here in this reaction, copper is replaced by iron. And forms iron sulfate. So iron displaces the copper from the copper sulfate. It gives iron sulfate and remove the copper. So one element is replaced by the another one. One element is replaced by the other one. Such reactions are called as chemical displacement. Chemical displacement. Let us take the one more example. Copper sulfide all completed. Then iron sulfate plus zinc. Iron sulfate plus zinc. It gives zinc sulfate plus iron. Zinc sulfate plus iron. So here also iron sulfate, iron is displaced by the zinc and it gives zinc sulfate plus iron. Such chemical reaction is called as chemical displacement. Chemical displacement. So in our textbook, so many examples are given. Like that, when zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid, it gives zinc chloride plus hydrogen. Right? So here hydrogen is replaced by the zinc. And zinc chloride is liberated. Hydrogen gas is liberated. So we already know in the metals and non-metal chapter on even in acids and bases. So metals react with acids. When metals react with the acids, they liberate hydrogen gas and form their respective salts. So in this way, one element is displaced by other element. Such type of chemical reactions are called as chemical displacement. Then coming to the next one, chemical double decomposition or double displacement. Chemical double decomposition or chemical double displacement. Double displacement, sometimes called decomposition. Double displacement. So in a chemical reaction, if this chemical reaction happened between two substances reacted, the two substances or compounds reacts with each other, and by exchanging their ions to form a new compound. Such reactions are called as double displacement reaction. So react by exchanging ions. For example, sodium sulfate plus barium chloride. So after the reaction, we use sodium chloride plus barium sulfate. Here the barium sulfate formed as a precipitate aqueous solution of sodium sulfate, barium chloride gives sodium chloride liquid and barium sulfate solid as a precipitate. So an insoluble means the water in a double displacement reaction, a non-soluble substance is formed. The non-soluble substance separate the precipitate and solution. Right? Aqueous solution is formed. Then let us discuss one more example. So here it is the aqueous solution is formed. So barium sulfate forms a precipitate which is non-soluble in water. And any reaction in which an insoluble solid called precipitate is found, that separate forms solution called precipitation reaction. So double displacement reaction sometimes called as the precipitate reaction because of insoluble solid substance is formed. So such as way, this type of chemical reactions are also called precipitate reactions. Precipitate reactions. So, many examples are also given in our textbook. So, in this way, we have to understand the four types of chemical reaction: chemical combination, chemical decomposition, chemical displacement, chemical double displacement, sometimes called double decomposition also. Double decomposition also. Then, along with we have to know about oxidation and reduction reactions. Oxidation and reduction reactions. What is meant by oxidation reaction? Oxidation reaction: the addition of oxygen to a substance. Oxidation and reduction. Oxidation. So, addition of oxygen, carbon plus oxygen, carbon dioxide, or removal of hydrogen. Removal of hydrogen or addition of oxygen is called oxidation. Similarly, reduction. What is meant by reduction? Removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen for oxidation and reduction. For the oxidation, we need to take the help of oxidizing agent, for reduction agent. Right? So, when phosphorus burns in air, the oxygen is added. When the carbon is reacting with oxygen, means oxygen is added to carbon. Such reactions are called as carbon dioxide. Some cases we observed that both reactions are happening in a chemical reaction. Both reactions are happening in a chemical reactions. Such reactions are called as redox reactions. Such reactions are called redox reactions. Example: copper oxide plus hydrogen. In this, we get copper plus what? See, from CO, oxygen is removed. So, it is a reduction. So, hydrogen ki oxygen added. So, oxygen is added to hydrogen. So, addition of oxygen is called as oxidation. Such reactions are called redox reactions. So, oxidizing, the substance which gives oxygen. Is called as oxidizing agent, or the substance which remove hydrogen is called oxidizing agent. Reducing agent, the substance which give hydrogen is reducing agent, or the substance which remove oxygen is also called as a reducing agent. We have some examples for them also. Right? So these are the examples for oxidation and reduction. Then we have reversible and irreversible reactions. Those reactions in which products are recombined and gives reactants. Such chemical reactions are called reversible reactions. Example. Let us understand a simple example. nitrogen combined with hydrogen, it gives ammonia. It gives ammonia. It gives ammonia. So this ammonia is decomposed. This ammonia is decomposed and gives nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen and oxygen. So such reactions are called reversible reactions. Reversible reaction. WRO. So nitrogen combined with hydrogen gives ammonia. Ammonia again decomposes, gives nitrogen and hydrogen. Such reactions are called reversible reactions. Reversible reactions. Similarly, some other also H2O. H2O is decomposed into hydrogen plus oxygen, and after they are combined and gives water. They are combined and gives water. Such reactions are called reversible reactions. Reversible reactions. Then exactly opposite to irreversible reactions. Once a product is obtained, it cannot form the reactants again. It cannot form reactants again. Right? So if it is carbon reacts, carbon combined with oxygen gives carbon dioxide. But carbon dioxide doesn't give again carbon and oxygen. Carbon and oxygen. Similarly, sodium reacts with water. We know sodium is extremely reactive with water, highly reactive with water. It gives sodium hydroxide. And hydrogen. Hydrogen gas is right. A solution is obtained. It is a liquid and it is a solid. So what will happen here? Sodium reacts with water, does not produce. So 2Na, here also write 2Na, 2 oxygens, 4 hydrogens, 2 oxygens, 2 Na, 2Na. So once sodium reacts with water, it gives sodium hydroxide, aqueous solution, and hydrogen. These two doesn't combine again. They did not give sodium and water. Such reactions are called irreversible reactions. See, if the products are recombined, the products are again give the reactants are called as reversible reactions. So we discussed all types of chemical reactions with examples.